Bullish AMP cost forecasts range somewhere in the range of $21921 and $4146 by 2030. Market examiners accept AMP could reach $0.17 by 2025. Negative AMP market cost expectation for 2023 is $3897. AMP presentation. Clients have become used to paying quickly and the independence from worry over security while making buys. This is somewhat more trying for blockchains. Notwithstanding, AMP is utilizing collateralization through its AMP token to ensure that network clients will not need to pick either speed and security. Despite the fact that the security token was just presented toward the finish of 2020, it has gained extraordinary headway. The organization is now being utilized by more than 40,000 areas, and its digital currency is beginning to get some forward momentum. Might we at any point conjecture the cost of AMPs, and is the token a method for installment later on? What is AMP? In the space of cryptography, there is banter about whether to put security or speed first. To guarantee the well-being of each and every exchange, security is required. However, speed is fundamental for the far and wide reception of a blockchain. Collateralization is AMP's solution to this issue. Clients can wager cryptographic money with every exchange to guarantee that it will finish. The maker of Flexor organization, Tyler Spalding, additionally established AMP. It is built on the Flexor organization and records two basic roles. While people can involve AMP for secure and quick exchanges from their own resources, consolidating Flexor with AMP is feasible for traders to ensure that installments are paid progressively. The interest for a hardy and exhaustive stage will increment as blockchain client bases keep on extending. Financial backers are starting to see the value in AMP's clever thought. AMP current cost. For AMP, there are clashing expectations from examiners, with some expecting accomplishment while others anticipating approaching destruction. In one view, AMP is portrayed as a poor speculation by wallet investor, who accepts it will drop most of its worth after some time. AMP is at present worth $94871. AMP has moved 980% as of now with an exchanging volume of $24,874,192. AMP is at present positioned 664 among all digital forms of money with a market capitalization of $198,108,309. Using the overall strength record RSI, moving weighted normal MWA, Williams fractal, and moving normal union disparity MACD from the graph above, we can decide cost designs for AMP to conclude whether having a bullish or negative year is going. Our cost expectation conjectures utilize constant AMP market information, and all information is refreshed live on our site. This permits us to give dynamic cost expectations in light of current market action. AMP value expectation 2023. AMP from certain perspectives is one of the most astonishing digital currencies to rise this year. The AMP cost figure for 2023 expects a huge expansion in the year's last part, conceivably coming to $7307. Similarly, as with other digital forms of money, the ascent will be progressive, yet no extensive drops are normal. Averaging $682 cost is very aggressive, yet it is doable sooner rather than later given expected joint efforts and headways. AMP is supposed to have a base worth of $5846. AMP value expectation 2024. In 2024, AMP cost expectation has a lot of space for extension. Because of the expected declarations of various new organizations and drives, we guess that the cost of AMP will before long outperform $0.12178. Be that as it may, we ought to stand by to check whether the AMP's overall strength list emerges from the oversold zone prior to putting down any bullish wagers. Taking into account the market instability, AMP will exchange with a base exchanging cost of $0.9743 and a typical exchanging cost of $0.1717. AMP value expectation 2025. In the event that the vertical pattern go on until 2025, it could reach $0.01705 and AMP might benefit. On the off chance that the market encounters a downfall, the objective may not be met. AMP is supposed to exchange at a typical cost of $0.015588 and a low of $0.014614 in 2025. AMP value expectation 2026. Assuming AMP effectively helps market feeling among cryptographic money lovers, the AMP coin cost could stay stable for the following 5 years. As per our projections, AMP will be green in 2026. The AMP is supposed to reach and outperform its untouched high in 2026. In 2026, the virtual cash will be valued at $0.1921, with a base cost of $0.019485 and a typical cost of $0.2459. AMP value expectation 2027. After some broad determining and specialized investigation, we gauge the AMP cost is supposed to cross a normal value level of $25331 by 2027, with a base cost of $24357 anticipated before the year's end. Moreover, AMP has a greatest value worth of $26792. AMP value expectation 2028. Because representing things to come organizations that are supposed to occur by 2028, we are expecting that a bullish pattern will keep carrying the typical cost to around $222. In the event that AMP figures out how to break the safe level in 2028, we could see a most extreme cost of $31663. Neglecting to accumulate the help AMP needs by 2028 could bring about a low of $222. AMP value forecast 2029. While AMP is endeavoring towards interoperability between organizations to rush connection, the bullish pattern from the earlier year is supposed to proceed. So the base exchange cost has been set at $03499 and a yearly cost close above $036,535 in 2029. AMP value expectation 2030. By 2030, AMP will at last outperform its past ETH values and record new cost levels. The base cost could be $0.3897 and possibly arrive at a greatest value worth of $41406, averaging out at $39945. AMP value forecast 2031. The cryptographic money market is known to be exceptionally unstable, which is one of the many justifications for why cost estimating is a troublesome undertaking. Makes an honest effort to estimate future costs with accuracy, but all forecasts ought not be taken as monetary guidance, and you should do your own exploration. In 2031, we are anticipating that digital currency should have acquired reception across numerous areas. In that capacity, the most extreme AMP cost in 2031 is projected to be $47739 in case of a bull run, with a typical value level of $44579. AMP has a great deal of potential in the crypto field thanks to confirmations with respect to security and speed. However, for the AMP cryptographic money to find true success, experts accept that it will expect it to continue growing its environment and exhibiting its valuable applications. What does the AMP cost today? Today, AMP is exchanging at $May4871 with an all-out market capitalization of $198,108,309. Is AMP a wise speculation? AMP ended up being one of the most discussed coins in the crypto space this previous year. Considering this, it is insightful to say that AMP is a decent decision of venture. How high could AMP at any point go? The typical cost of AMP might perhaps reach $9682 this year. Throughout the following 5 years, it is projected that AMP might outperform $031663. What amount will AMP be worth in 5 years? In light of the rising prominence of digital currency and AMP, a drawn-out interest in AMP could see the value ascend to $031663 inside the following 5 years. What amount will AMP be worth in 10 years? On the off chance that you put resources into AMP today, similarly as with any venture, a drawn-out increment is